一人きりで歩いた当たり前の毎日、囲まれた世界を壊さぬように生きてた。鏡が映すのは嘘つきの笑顔、心の曇りを逆さまに。たくさんの人たち行き交う空の下で、自分を守るため鍵をかけて生きてた。そんな私が今知った幸せは、腕を伸ばしたら届くもの。扉の向こう側、背伸びはいらない、ありのままの言葉で語りかけよう。そしてこの世界へ、ここで会う人へ、花を束ねた愛の歌を贈ろう。大切な誰かと喜び共にすれば、囲まれた世界がいつの間にか広がる。瞳が映すのは本当の笑顔、心の中まで開いたら、たくさんの人たち、幾千の想いたち、目にする輝きを。
Hello everyone, this is In-Game Art with another boxing to break down the demo. This is Tonelico 2, Melody of Metafalica. This is my PlayStation 2 copy being played on my PlayStation 2. Now, to start off, this is a sequel to the original Tonelico, which they are a connected story, and there are 2 other games as well in the series on the PlayStation 3. Well, this is actually my very first Tonelico game I played, and I do have a bit maybe a bias or a nostalgia opinion on the game, so you gotta take that with a grain of salt in my regard. This game was a big part of my childhood. I remember picking this game up as one of my original first massive JRPGs, and I fell in love with this game immediately. The combat's amazing, the graphics are gorgeous to look at, the music is some of the best I've ever heard in video games, as well as just the overall atmosphere, story, gameplay mechanics, and everything just really draws you in, as well as other little mechanics in the game. Like the diving, and then you got the alchemy lab, you can cooking and all that other stuff. But the main point of the game was that the combat really draws you in because it's got a typical turn-based RPG style, but it has where you have to build up a magic spell and you have to do certain attack patterns to alter the magic as well as the benefit of your team as well. As well as that when you are on the defending side and it's the enemy side, instead of waiting for the damage attacks happen, you can do like a guard mode where you have to hit this gauge mode, and if you hit it perfectly you can prevent all damage. But if you do get hit, you and your song magic, your Revetine, will take damage. And of course your Revetail is really weak, so you gotta be very careful with that. Well, in the second one here, you have 2 of them now, and they both can work together and cast a song magic. While in the original first one, you could only have 1. So it was a much more improvement. As well as who you pair up with your Revetail song magic will be better combined together. So you gotta always take that consideration. Like I said, this game has a lot of content I'm not going to be able to cover within this short video, but it is a really good game, and a game I do really highly recommend you looking into. It hasn't become extremely expensive in terms of collecting, but I can see it quickly getting up there in due time. As well as, like I said, the game offers other little modes like the dive mode, which is kind of like a visual novel kind of style where you can gain points between your Revetails and get more relationship experience with them, which are a very interesting kind of style where you go into the deeper hearts of these characters and learn a little about their back past and some of their troubles and stuff like that. As well as there's 3 of them, so there's actually 3 endings to the game, as well as no 4th ending, actually Bizak, if you don't choose any of them. So, like I said, it's really a rewarding in that field and gives you a lot of replay value in that style. And like I said, there's not much I can really go on and gush about this game, but it was one of those games that just really registered really well with me. I love the first and the second one, and I've played some of the newer ones. They're not as good as the first and second one, but they're not bad. But the second one here is the one I highly recommend the most. It is almost one of the few perfect games I can say that's out there, especially in terms of JRPGs and its art style and music. If you didn't hear from the unboxing, I love that song. But I want to point out there's a bit of a problem with the game, and that is at the very end of the game. There is a humongous game-breaking bug that got released with this, where at the ending you go to fight a mid-boss, and well, she does this attack, and if you do not defeat her before she does this attack, the game will lock up and freeze up, and you're just screwed. You have to reset the game and start it back up. So you gotta make sure you're max level, make sure you have the best equipment, so you can make sure to defeat her the fastest you can. So again, that's very disappointing that for some reason they didn't catch this bug in the game. And like I said, even older games had game-breaking bugs, and that's why there is some benefit of nowadays having updates. But like I said, it's very few games actually have these issues, and this is one of them. But as you said, you can get past this game-breaking bug. You just got to make sure you play, get experience, get strong enough, and you can beat her. I have beaten this game 3 or 4 times. If I can recall, I played this game a lot back when I was younger, and re-recording this, I really actually wanted to run through it all over again just because I love the game so much. When I heard that music, it just hit me like a nostalgia wave. As well as, like I said, there's an alchemy style kind of game where you can combine and make items and stuff like that, which is, I'm not the biggest in the alchemy kind of field in JRPGs, but it gives you a different experience, because each one you have a certain character, and certain combinations will build up certain relationships, and as well create different items and stuff like that. Another little interesting tidbit as well is that you got to make sure you explore a lot, because you got to look for conversation pieces, and if you don't find the proper conversation pieces or enough of them, you can get to a point where you won't be able to progress with a certain character that you may like. So bear that in mind. So every time you get through an area or something like that, make sure you explore a little bit to make sure you find all those conversation pieces. Like I said, it's one of those little charming games that I think a lot of people are just not aware of. And Tonelico is not the nichest of games, but it makes me sad that I haven't heard any of the newer series coming out, and it's just one of those perfect games that I love so much. And I would really love a full HD remake of this one and the first one. And if later you can get the newer ones on the PlayStation 3, which is not as good as this in the first one, but they're still good games nonetheless. Again, I don't know what more I could say about this game. It's like I said, I can see it becoming quite highly as a collectible game, and I can see right now a lot of people pushing to the side right now. So if you can get a copy, and if you see a copy, I highly recommend it, because it is truly a fun game, as well as quite challenging if you put it on the harder difficulties. But again, like I said, man, I wish I could talk more about this game, but it's just, I don't know, I just want to go play it now. But again, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy, which I highly recommend. It's just a really, really good game with a good story, good concept, good characters, great music, good combat. It's just one of those games that I could just gush out all the time, and I'm just really proud I have it in my collection. So thank you all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye-bye!
君